Hi everyone, it is Desiree again, and I am here with Altenew, and I am just going to create some simple and clean designed cards using one of their 2-layer stencils, and it's called Sweet Spring Stencil. I'm also going to be pulling in a sentiment die by Simon Says Stamp. And my inks that I'm going to use today are also by Altenew, and I'll have those listed down below with the colors that I used. So I have some cardstock cut to, it will be cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. I believe right now I'm at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because I didn't know how big this stencil was going to be and how I was going to position it. I pulled out my 2-inch Post-it tape so that I could block off the area because I knew I would get ink everywhere because that's what we do, or at least that's what I do. So I actually remembered this time to block those areas off. So this color here are some gray tones, Limestone and Industrial Diamond. And I'm using a light and a dark. So you know with Altenew inks, you can buy the set where there's 4 different colors because these inks coordinate and work really well with their layered stamp sets. Those absolutely gorgeous stamp sets. So I'm actually using the lightest shade and the 3rd darkest shade of each of these sets. Once I have that first layer down, and again, I'm not looking for that first layer to be solid. I like the difference of, you know, being darker maybe in a corner or along the edge. I'm going to turn the stencil and bring in the other side, and I'm going to match that up over this, and then I'm going to come in with my darker shade. I am using my makeup brushes, or no, these are not my makeup brushes. These are actually those by Tailored Expressions, because I thought they were absolutely adorable with the colors and the handles. Yes, absolutely. But again, I'm just using my blending brushes. I think they work a lot better on stencils than my mini blending tools or my finger daubers. They don't get caught, and the bristles just keep going. Between the other 3 that I'm going to make, I make sure that I clean off my stencil. These are dye inks, so they do clean very well. So these are the 4 that I created. I created a gray tone. I used one of the mauve tones. I used one of the new purple and the new grayish blue when it comes to these colors here. And you can see I have them set differently in different ways that they're going to lay there. I also used one of my wonky dies. We haven't seen the wonky die forever. It is still one of my favorite rectangle dies, but I found lately I've been using my paper trimmer to cut my my panels or my pieces. These I just wanted to have that little bit of wonkiness going on. This is the die that I was speaking of by Simon Says Stamp. It is a beautiful die that simply says, "With sympathy." I thought these images, since I went with a monotone type color, meaning light and dark of the same color family, that this light sentiment would be perfect. Now, I didn't choose black for this sentiment either. I did choose a gray, a darker gray to cut my sentiment out with. So again, with black, it would have been a little bit harsher. But when you choose a gray, it keeps it soft. And I do think that when you have or creating a sympathy card, it should be soft. I don't know, it's just something that I think about when I'm designing the cards. I did not lose the little tiny dot for the eye, which I was very surprised at, so I added that. This is what each panel looks like. It looks like that they have a lot of detail, but again, very simplistic in the design, very clean when it comes to the design, but has a nice impact. I then cut mattes that match the color, the darker shade, of my image. So of course this is my gray, and then I created it's almost like a smoky teal that I had in my stash. So I created that to put behind the Misty Morning and Nimbus shades that I used. For the pale mauve and the grape agate, I did have, it's like a deep fuchsia. And then I grabbed my dark purple for the Wisteria and Andromeda that I used for those purples. So these are from the recent sets, or their most recent release in their dye inks. And these are what the final cards look like. I pulled out some of my pearls and attached them. I made sure the smaller flowers within the stenciled image had the smaller pearls adhered to them. And then I just added some pearls outside of the image. Again, for when it comes to sympathy cards, I just have a way of thinking that they should be soft. And pearls are, to me, represent soft and elegant and quiet. And to me, that's what sympathy cards should actually represent when it comes to that. I don't know. It's just me when I look at the designs. So again, very clean and simple cards to make for the concept of a sympathy card. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll hope you give those layered stencils a try. I'm going to have another video that's going to be out showing layered stencils. But this is really the first time that I used it. I had a great time with it. And I think they can give you a beautiful image in no time. Maybe you're not comfortable with the layered stamps. This is a way to have that same effect and be a little bit more comfortable with it. As always, the products that I used will be listed down below. If you have a question, make sure you leave that down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to hit that button. Make sure you ring the bell so that you're notified when the next video is ready for you to watch. Continue to enjoy your day. Let's continue to stay safe and healthy. But always remember, there is one thing that is very important for me and will probably help us through the year of 2020. Always be creative, everyone. Take care.